Yo, what's up, everybody? Andrew Moan here with Darian's Competitive Pokemon. Gonna be playing a game on PTCGO. Gonna rock Volcanion EX. This is a deck I haven't been playing a whole lot lately, even though it is very good. Was just able to win Connecticut Regional Championships not too terribly long ago at the hands of Igor Costa. So it definitely is, kind of a mainstay in standard format at this point. It's definitely considered to be one of the best decks in standard format. I consider it to be one of the top three. You got your Volcanion EX, your Gardevoir GX, and your Garbodor decks. I think are kind of the main big three in standard format right now. I do think that this that Volcanion is still good. However, it did fall off a little bit with the huge rise in Gardevoir GX. Lately at Vancouver, Gardevoir and Garbodor kind of asserted themselves as the top two, and I think that Gardevoir GX is just really the deck to beat in standard format right now, and unfortunately, Volcanion does have a little bit of a hard time with that matchup. You can see here, this hand that I got is bad. Nobody wants to Sycamore 3 Sycamores on the first turn of the game. Nobody. And you can see that I am playing against some sort of Lycanroc deck here, so that's kind of interesting. I think I will attach a Fury Belt to my active Turtonator, as well as a Fire Energy. Let's Max Elixir, get a Max Elixir on my bench Volcanion, and unfortunately we just got to let her rip. That means we only got one Sycamore for the rest of the game. Oh, geez. Okay. We got one Volcanion here on the bench, and we're just going to go ahead, bench this other Volcanion EX so that then we can steam up if we need to, and I'm just going to pass turn. Next turn, maybe we'll Shell Trap, something like that. Fortunately, if we could Shell Trap, knock out this Rockruff, that'd be fantastic. So let's just go ahead and pass, see what my opponent has got for me. I didn't bench this Volcanion yet just because maybe I want to save room for a third Volcanion EX, something like that. Maybe I also end up playing a Lele. I don't know. Maybe next turn I'll bench this Volcanion, but for now, I am just going to kind of wait and see and play a little reactively, and just see what my opponent does. Looks like my opponent is playing Lycanroc Zoroark. I think this deck is much stronger in expanded format when you have Skyfield. Did a little deck profile on that not too long ago. Oh, by the way, I'm shouting out my... No, don't Pokepuff me! I decided I'm going to start shouting out my Twitter handle. It's EnjoyFriend. I did this in another video not too long ago and got a lot of followers. So that was great. But I would love for you guys to follow me on Twitter at EnjoyFriend. That's ENJOI friend, because that is like the quickest way for me to share TCG information with everybody. Obviously, videos are great and deck profiles are great, but if I see a list online, I can just tweet it out instantly, and that's just like really exciting to me. And I think that Twitter is just a great platform for me to use to spread information and to also answer everybody's questions, because a lot of times, and I apologize for those of you guys that have contacted me on things like Facebook, and I don't always have time to answer questions on there. So, I apologize for not being responsive to everybody. I try my best, but Twitter is the way to go. I'm definitely going to start promoting that as the kind of best way to get a hold of me while playing, or with any questions that you may have about the competitive Pokemon trading card game. So, let's see. We're going to end here. I do get to do my Shell Trap for knockout, so I am pretty stoked on that. I'm going to bench this third Volcanion EX just so I have even more options as far as steaming up goes. I think I am going to Max Elixir, try to get it onto this benched, Volcanion here, so that next turn, if I need to, if I have a dead hand, I could just do something. Let's see, how many do I have? One in the discard pile? Yeah, I'm not using Nitro Tank. I'm going to Shell Trap for knockout, and then next turn, if I have a dead hand still, I can just go ahead and Guzma something up and maybe Power Heater. And that would be pretty cool, because then I could Guzma, Power Heater, accelerate an energy to a Turtonator. And then the following turn, maybe I could Guzma again and Bright Flame something. Like that would be pretty neat. So, I've got a little bit of an awkward hand here, but at the very... Oh, I definitely have an awkward hand. Probably because I Sycamored 3 Sycamores on the first turn of the game. No one likes to do that. But, hey, you know what? This is the game that we share and love here. Sometimes you have to Sycamore 3 Sycamores. So I would like to get my Oranguru out. At least if I could get Oranguru out, I could kind of like lean on him a little bit. Or maybe my opponent will just be kind and end me, but it looks like they don't have any plans of doing that. They're going to pull out this Mallow play, which is a little cute, you know, because you combine Mallow with the, what is this called? Trade. With the trade ability, and basically allows you to just stack your deck, throw 2 cards on the top of your deck from your deck, shuffle the rest, and then you can just draw them with trade. So that's pretty neat. My opponent's going to get the exact 2 cards they want. Maybe that's going to involve probably a Lycanroc GX and a Strong Energy or something like that, if I had to guess. Yep, there's the Lycanroc GX. Are they going to use that Bloodthirsty Eyes to bring up anything on the bench? Probably, because odds are they do not want to take that Shell Trap damage, if I had to guess. So they're probably going to try and bring something up. Bringing up that Volcanion definitely makes the most sense right now. You know, it's got an energy on it. You know, they could kind of get some damage on it real quick. And actually, they could just GX it. Yep, so they're going to do that and knock it out. It's pretty good, man. Pretty good. Lycanroc with a Dangerous Rogue GX just getting in there for a quick knockout. And meanwhile, I am sitting here on the back foot like, what in the world do I even do about that? I mean, I could Shell Trap. That's a little weird. I could Power Heater. I think Power Heater is the play at this point since I do get to accelerate 2 energy. That's pretty good. Yikes, though. I mean, this is rough. I mean, my hand is dead, dead, dead. So I think I do want to poke into this thing. I can steam up 1 time if I want to, just to do a little more damage, but I don't think that's necessarily worth it. I think I'd rather just steam up maybe next turn while attacking with Turtonator, something like that. I do have 2 energy in the discard pile, so I don't necessarily need to steam up. Let's just go ahead and do that then. Let's just Power Heater. I'm going to save this energy up. Such an underwhelming little Power Heater. I am going to just start accelerating here to these 2 guys and see what happens next turn. I can Bright Flame for 170 damage. If I steam up, that's 200 damage. But I don't have any way to get this Turtonator into the active position, so that's a little rough because I can't just go and knock out this thing. Now, I could knock out something on the bench, but I don't necessarily want to knock out anything on the bench unless maybe I could Shell Trap. Maybe I could Shell Trap that Zorua. Like, that might be an option for me. If I can just Guzma and then steam up once, Shell Trap the Zorua. They're going to Acerola. Oh, that's annoying. Put up the Tapu Koko. I imagine that they're just going to Flying Flip, try and weaken up my guys a little bit. You know, they kind of see that I am in a weird situation. Now, something cool that I can do is I could Shell Trap. Shell Trap's really good against Tapu Koko, by the way, because Tapu Koko is definitely... There's an N. We are in. However, I do think I just want to go and Shell Trap this turn. I think I want to Shell Trap the Rockruff, so I think I'm going to do that. But, because Rockruff's definitely, like, annoying because he's going to be able to evolve and then knock out whoever he wants, and I don't like that. So let's just go ahead and do that. And then we can go ahead, Shell Trap. And Shell Trap's good against Tapu Koko because then it makes it so that my opponent doesn't really want to Flying Flip because then they just take a lot of damage. And then I can Shell Trap it again. If they do take that 80 damage, it's just like a weird situation for my opponent. So I'm just going to do that. Take that knockout. I'm still on my even prizes now. I also have a Float Stone, which is good because that just makes Guzma plays a lot easier. And I do have an N as well. However, I should play that N before it becomes too much of a bad draw card. You know, if I take like 1 or 2 more prizes, N is not going to be drawing me any cards. So probably better to play that N sooner rather than later. I also would like to get myself hold of that Oranguru, like I said earlier. But you can see, you know, Ultra Balls are not exactly happening right now. Nor are much of anything, you know. No Ultra Balls, no energy. We are running pretty dry over here on the Volcanion side of things. Even copying my Enhanced Hammers would be pretty good too, you know, since Enhanced Hammers, you know, very good against this deck because this deck plays a lot of special energy. But without any draw, odds are I'm just not going to be seeing any of those valuable 30 cards that are down there in my deck. So I'm going to see what my opponent decides to do. Maybe they decide not to attack me. Maybe they don't want to go in. They don't want to take that Shell Trap damage. Maybe they're just retreating so they could Guzma up something else. That's probably the case. Yep, they're going to Guzma up that Volcanion and just continue to plug away with Flying Flip until their Zoroark GX maybe can take a knockout. They're probably going for another Rockruff here, if I had to guess, just because Rockruff's pretty good. I would like to take a knockout if I could. I guess I can knock out the Lele. That's got, 170 hit points. I could just Guzma again. But at this point, I'm not building up my board position at all. So I think I need to lay off the Guzmas, unfortunately. However, that would feel pretty good to take 2 prizes. But then, you guys know, I only have 1 Sycamore left in deck. So I need to make some plays that do not involve Guzma. As you can see, I just keep drawing them. I just keep drawing them, so that's fine. Let's go ahead. I think I want to bench maybe... Oh my gosh, I don't want to Bright Flame this Tapu Koko. That just feels so bad. But, there's not really a lot of options. Not a lot of good options here. Let's just end my opponent. I think I need to put this Volcanion down and just end. Let's just go ahead and do that. See what we could get. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Some fire energies, an enhanced hammer. This is pretty much everything we need. So this is good. I can enhanced hammer my opponent's Rockruff there. That's good. Let's do that. Take him out the game. I don't like that. And then we could attach a fire energy to my Turtonator here. Retreat. And I am just going to... I'm actually going to Bright Flame this thing, I think, because at this point, I need to get that Tapu Koko out of here. And Tapu Koko is just going to start setting up knockouts for the rest of his Pokemon. And, thanks to this Fighting Fury belt, I'm still rocking 190 hit points. But, Zoroark GX's damage is going to start to make a difference. If my opponent gets that Field Blower, then I only have 150 hit points, which means that Zoroark can take a knockout with a Choice Band and a DCE. So, I definitely wanted to stop that Flying Flip now while I can. You can see they did get the Field Blower, so things are looking a little sketchy here. I need my opponent to not knock out the Turtonator this turn. Definitely need him to stand his ground for one more turn, maybe take another knockout with Bright Flame, and then I could try to figure out, my last 2 prizes with somebody else. But, if my opponent just starts screaming in with that Zoroark or something like that, it's not going to be very good for me. They do have an Ultra Ball. They're also playing Puzzle of Time. Interesting. Okay. See what they're doing. Very cool. They're getting another Zoroark GX, so their draw is just going to be great. They're probably going to be able to just get whatever they want here off of these trades. So let's see. They got Sycamore too. Oh my goodness. Yep. I don't think this Turtonator is probably going to be sticking around this turn. Gotta imagine my opponent's going to be able to get that double colorless. And the Choice Band, that's a little stressful. Maybe I shouldn't have gone all in on the Turtonator, putting that energy there. But, I think I more or less had to try to stream some knockouts with Turtonator. I don't really have a whole lot of other options. Maybe I could Nitro Tank, but at this point, Nitro Tank doesn't feel like a great option either. I got no draw cards because I had to Sycamore those Sycamores. Feels bad, man. It's feeling a little rough. Oh, my opponent did not get a DCE. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. All right. So let's see here. We can Bright Flame 160. Oh, I'm not going to get a knockout, though. I could just... This could be the turn Nitro Tank. I could go up and poke with Power Heater. I don't mind that either. But let's see. I think Power Heater probably makes the most sense. I could Bright Flame. I could Shell Trap. I think Power Heater makes the most sense, though. So let's just go in with that. Let's go ahead and retreat into this Volcanion here. And we're going to just steam up one time just to soften this thing up a little bit. And let's throw an energy down onto my bench Volcanion. And now I've got some plays. Now, unfortunately, I do have to get some sort of draw. I am just sitting here top decking. That Volcanion is stuck there in the active position until my opponent decides to knock it out. So, they are probably going to be able to trade for some sort... Oh, they played the non-EX Lycanroc too. It's a basic Pokemon, does 30 more damage, can't retreat. That seems okay. I'm not super sold on that non-EX, non-GX Lycanroc. But, You know, if my opponent gets a DCE and a Guzma, what they're doing, it does 20 damage times the amount of Pokemon in play. They got a Mallow, so that means that I'm safe. I imagine they're going to throw a double colorless energy onto the top of their deck so that they can draw it with their other trade. They've got a huge hand at this point. It's hard for me to imagine that they don't have what they need in there. I guess they could put Lycanroc DCE on the top of their deck. That would be so annoying because then they could, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They need a lot though. They still need a double colorless. They need another basic Pokemon, and they need a Choice Band, and they need a Lycanroc in order to take the knockout here. They are able to put 2 of those together, so they would have had to just have the rest of those cards in their hand. Let's see what they got. They are putting up the Clean Zork. I imagine they're going to throw a double colorless down. How many double colorless do they have down? Only 1. It's actually kind of crazy that they whiffed that one turn. They're totally going to take out my Turtonator. That feels bad. That feels so bad. But what can I do? I mean, like, oh, they got the Choice Band. Do you have another bench Pokemon too? Just go ahead. Show it to me. 130. Yeah, they're not doing enough yet. They got the Rescue Stretcher too. Oh, no. Man, this feels rough. I don't think that I have a play to be able to deal with all this. Like, I got no supporters. I got no draw. I've got nothing. We are just feeling all sorts of sad over here. My opponent's only got 2 prizes left, so that means if they could get themselves a Choice Band or something like that, this game is just going to be, or not a Choice Band, a Guzma, this game is just going to be over. Let's go ahead. I can't just Volcanic Heat this thing. I need to Power Heater, I guess. Ugh, this just feels bad. It feels dirty. I got nothing going on, man. I mean, you see what I got going on. It's nothing. It's big, fat nothing. And then, I don't know, maybe I can Nitro Tank or something. Like, it all feels bad. There's nothing to, there's not a single good play that I could do at this point. Yep, just put me out of my misery. Put me out of my misery. All right, well, you guys see firsthand what happens when you have to Sycamore 3 Sycamores on the first turn of your game. You don't draw anything for the rest of the game. That's pretty ugly. You know, kudos to my opponent. Lycanroc Zoroark. Cool deck in standard format. I was able to whoop this Volcanion deck to pieces, you know, even though I will say that I did not have the best draw. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to let me know what you guys think of these decks in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on Twitter if you are about that Twitter life and just trying to get some extra Pokemon trading card game information online on social media. Thank you all for checking out the video. Have a nice day. Peace.